All right, chat, let's do it. Let's get the show on the road as we do. For those that missed it, here comes your spoiler warning because we are fresh off of chat absolutely choking the #1 seed Vancouver A's, blowing it to Baltimore in 4 games in a best-of-5 series. It's quite the choke job. 103 wins, downed by 85 wins. The bullpen choke, not the whole team. We've been over this. A good amount of the team choked. Yuri Perez choked. The bullpen choked. Juan Soto choked. Joe did not choke. Thank you for the 18 months, Joe. I appreciate it. Welcome back. It's great to have you here, as always. But yeah, hey, it's time to move on. Let's find out. Will it be Baltimore, Kansas City, San Francisco, or San Diego in the All-California NLCS? Who's going to the World Series? Baltimore, all the way to the World Series. The other side is a Game 7. It'll be Baltimore and San Diego in the World Series. And the Baltimore Orioles go all the way to win the 2031 World Series, losing just 1 game in each of their 4 series dating back to the wild card. The Orioles get it done, led by Kobe Mayo, winning World Series MVP. He was damn good too. Somebody play the alert here. I'll play the alert for you. Why not? Actually, no, I won't. Never mind. Rather lose to the champs than anyone else. It's a typical attitude to have. I don't even think it's necessarily the wrong one. Let's see what happens this offseason, though. You guys have had some financial issues, and we'll see if those are going to continue. You lose Clay Holmes to retirement. I lose Kodai Senga. Nothing too crazy. Godzilla versus the Meg. Yes or no? Yes, as long as Godzilla wins. That's the contingency. Godzilla needs to win, because it's goddamn Zilla. Let's see. Michael Trout and Jose Altuve both make the Hall of Fame in 2031. I mean, that's going to happen. They are both going to be future. They are both future Hall of Famers, so it makes sense. It makes sense. Whew. All right, chat. Some big money situations, but before we get to that, we have the staff to take care of. I'll take care of mine first, given I had a worse record. Saw New Godzilla vs. Kong this week, and it was 3D, but I'm blind, so 3D didn't have an effect on me. I have not seen any of the Kong vs. Godzilla films, but I want to watch them because Godzilla's just the tits, brother. Godzilla's the best. I grew up watching a lot of the old Godzillas with my mom. Just the hokiest Japanese nonsense, but God, it's beautiful. So I gotta catch up on those. Who would win, Godzilla or slightly? Why the Godzilla questions? Who would win, Godzilla or slightly bigger Godzilla? The fans. That's who would win. All right, you guys need a hitting coach and a first base coach. Let's see who makes sense for you to bring in here. Miguel Juarez. And it was a first base coach. Sergio Navarro makes sense. I'm going to spend that extra money to make sure you get him. So let's go over. Nothing beat Godzilla riding on his tail to deliver a massive drop kick to Jet Jaguar. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is the greatest moment in film history, to the point where you can Google Godzilla drop kick and it auto fills. Look at that goddamn dinosaur throwing a drop kick. It's not even a dinosaur, it's a lizard. It's a lizard. Anyway, chat, let's talk about your team here, right? You have $32 million in projected surplus at the moment, which certainly isn't bad. Spencer Steer, the reigning MVP, has an option for one more year at $10.1 million. That's an obvious sign. Like, you're not going to let go of Spencer Steer for that. He stays. Sox, what's going on? Good to see you. Question. I might have an answer, depending on the topic. Brad Keller, you can let go of. He's not worth that much money. A couple $1,000,000, he's not worth it. Will Smith also isn't worth that to you guys anymore. Given who you have at catcher, you got Ray. Duarte is just about as good. Jeff Long, so you're not looking that bad. Warrior, what's up? Mondesi was a filler player this year. And Gary Sanchez you can let go too, given that he's declining. So actually, money-wise, you're not looking that bad. Not at all. $32.89 million in surplus after that option was picked up. For me, holy options. Adbert Alzolay. It looks like I gave it too cheap. What are your thoughts on the clip of Elizabeth Warren saying fat broads and horse-faced lesbians? Shout out to Nico for the 23 months. Sox, I did not see the clip of Elizabeth Warren saying fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. Shout out to Z-Pops for the 50 months on the primer. But, you know, what's the context? That's my thoughts. What's the context? Is it Elizabeth Warren saying she loves fat broads and horse-faced lesbians? In which case, she has good taste. Alzolay, you are... Oh, you are so bad. Yeah, I don't need to keep you. I really don't need to keep you. You're terrible. Jose Suarez, got a cheap-ass option for him, so we'll pick him up again. And then Luis Garcia is starting to decline. Only wants 7 or 8 million. That's not too bad. What if I promise you that you'll be the ace? Because you will be. I'm going to 8.9 for the year. That's not that bad. Do you like great vegetables or do you prefer bad vegetables? I prefer tales about vegetables. All right, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to look to bring you back. Alzolay could go because he was terrible. Well, if he'll take a cheap as shit option, and he will. Let's see if he takes that. Jose Alzacar. I might as well keep you for the year. And William Contreras, you're definitely not going to be making $11 million this year. You're not even going to be making $3 to $4 million. Because I don't really need you. Like, you'd be good for AAA. But I don't really need you. So, Mr. Contreras, I hate to say it, but you're probably on the way out. Is a hot dog a sandwich or a taco? Yeah. Is a sandwich a taco? It's a taco a sandwich. There you go. Flipped it around on you. Why do I feel the need to stay loyal to William Contreras? I can't guarantee the coach will... I gotta let him go. That's dumb. Why would I keep him? I mean, I can't guarantee the coach will play Gabe Moreno elsewhere. Will Comstock needs a spot on the roster. I gotta let him go. So Garcia stays. Alzolay can stay for dirt cheap. For you guys, you're good to go there. Cool. Coaches are accepting offers, except for Miguel Juarez and David Cortez. Hitting coach, who can I get? Who can I get? I can go for Big John McCarthy. The worst MMA commentator out there. And for you guys, you also need a hitting coach. Arav Kapoor. Arav Kapoor. There we go. See if that works. John McCarthy went to the Giants. Son of bitch. Hey, what is up with these people not accepting offers? I'll go for Merrill Haig. Hockey. It's a Q, not a G. Merrill Hockey. Merrill. Oh, Contreras, I want to keep you, buddy, but you just want too much money. You just do. You just do. There we go. All right. So free agency. Let's take a look at chat situation here. At catcher, you got Tyrone Ray, who's not bad. Obviously, he can do the job. You might want a better catcher and have Tyrone be the backup, but that's your situation at catcher. First base, you still got Vladdy and Michael Chavis, so you're good. Second base, Gavin Lux and nobody behind him, at least not yet. Third base, John's Laughter and nobody behind him. So catcher, second or third base. Shortstop's Robert Spasato with Naylor behind him. The outfield is Spencer Steer, Cedar Rafaela, Marcus Weber, and Juan Soto. So for position player, you know, backup shortstop's risky. So really you're looking at either an improvement at third base, a backup second baseman, or an improvement at catcher. And then the bullpen, honestly, might not even be the biggest position in need anymore. Like, you got these young guys that are graduating. The bullpen might be okay. The starting rotation is definitely okay. So, I mean, if you could find one more person for the bullpen, that won't be the worst thing in the world. Do I care about WrestleMania? Not one. No, I can't say not one bit. That'd be a lie. I 1% care, because there'll be a part of me that grew up a fan of WWE that'll always be intrigued. But mostly not really. So your guys, and actually here, you know what we have to do is send out these other offers first and foremost to see how much money you actually have to spend. So let's get that set up, because that could be a problem. And Lonnie Duarte had to be added back to the 40-man. Use Feliz Hernandez, Peter Otto taken to the Matthews Bridge. And from there, I think you're okay, based off of what we can see. Arbitration. So Jim David, after his unbelievable season, you guys are going to be able to get him for cheap, but not for much longer. Not for much longer. Do you care that UConn is more than likely repeating in March Madness? No. NCAA tournament-wise, I didn't really get into it this year. It probably doesn't help that the UMains women's team got absolutely dunked on in the first round. That didn't help. All right, so Jim David at 3.3 million or 3.5. We'll send the arbitration at 3.3. There's really not much to do there with like payout structure or anything. So 3.3 million for the David. Michael Chavis, 1-year deal, dirt cheap as a backup first baseman, is a great deal. And then Jeff Adams, you can just finally let this guy go. He just collapsed under the pressure. We still have these offers to send out before we're going to get to know for sure just how you guys are looking financially. So you're going to be able to save a lot of money on Jeff Long. Goddamn, Jeff Long is going to get underpaid to hell. Damn. Let's see. Lonnie Duarte. 1-year renewable deal. When does the money drop? Hit there. Jim Lyons got to stick around. Michael Dell. David Tulibitz. You got O'Connor. You got Rice and Deerdorf. Gary Mullen. Let's see. Virgil Hitchcock. Raul Blanco. It's also yours. Edwards wasn't. Woodward wasn't. Muncie wasn't. Douglas Walk. Joel DeYoung. Gerald Flores. And Chris Feliz wasn't yours. You don't have any shortstops to worry about. Colin Graves, you do have to worry about. Domine is not yours. Conrath isn't yours. Spencer Sato is. So financially, you're probably not going to have the most amount of money. I'm trying to save you guys some money here by dropping these offers a bit. But it's not going to be saving that much in the grand scheme of things. Let's see. Was Dominic Hughes yours? I think he was. Even if he wasn't, whatever. I'll let you keep him. I don't give a shit. Makes no difference to me. Ahmad Munoz. Abraham Elise. Lou Duff. Oh, yeah. Hudson wasn't yours. Evan Rodriguez, it wasn't good anyway. Lou Duff, you definitely drafted, though. I don't remember if you guys drafted here or not. You might as well just fucking sign him. Clyde Floyd. How much money can you save on Clyde Floyd? Decent amount. And Enrique Nieves. So that leaves you guys with a $28.89 million surplus. You obviously subtract the money that is there. That leaves you guys with about just a shade under $20.2 million to work with. So when we look at certain positions, right, and catcher was an interesting one. Basayo, whatever it was, is out there. Great catcher. However, wants $21 million. You guys are priced out on him for sure. Absolutely priced out on that guy. Tyler Soderstrom is 30, and even he's pricing you out at even $16 million. It's just too much. Austin Wells at 32. Keibert Ruiz is unavailable. Kevin Parada. Yeah, Kevin Parada would work at about 10. Wouldn't leave you too much room for a pitcher. You got Stevenson, Amaya at 33. There aren't too many younger catchers to sign right now for you guys. It would be looking at a veteran like Austin Wells. But even then, he's looking for a good amount of money. So that's a bit shaky for you guys. The other positions to really focus on was backup second base behind Gavin Lux, which would be like Michael Massey, Christian Arroyo, Manuel Valdez. Can't get Donovan based off of, even though he is American. Then there was an improvement at third base. Jake Berger as a veteran. Monasterio's unavailable to you guys. Edmundo Sosa's there. It's tough to say. You're priced out on the big names. There are potential upgrades to get at third base and catcher, and a potential backup to get at second base. It just depends on what you want to do. For closers, there's Andreas Munoz at 33. Felix Bautista, David Bednar. Lang's out there. Ryan Helsley. Abner Uribe is available. Trevor Rogers, Alex Vesia, Nick Sandlin. I mean, there are some good relievers out there, too. Might not be the worst idea to go after one of these top relievers and then get a backup at like second base or third base. Then obviously you don't need high-end starters at all. Dylan Cease is out there, though. Yeah, you don't need high-end starters at all. So, chat, I'm intrigued by your decisions. I'm going to set up stuff about my roster here, and then we'll go back to you and see what the hell you guys want to do to try and not choke in the playoffs next year. And hopefully finally put me out of my misery. Please, God, put me out of my misery. Let's see, center field, we got Luke Gehringer. David Valdez is a starter. I got a lot of dudes who have to get added to the 40-man this year. We got Chow at center field. Gentry at third base. If it's not mine, Costa's not mine. Robert Oka. And you to the 40-man. David Chang as a reliever. I'm only going to add him just so I can see who else is there. I think I'm good from there. Backup second base, high-end relief. That could be the way to go. Could be, it could be. Which money can I save on Robert Oka? How about Parada at catcher? That's also an option. It is also an option. It's up to you guys. Let's see. Fernando. Jamie Diaz. Tommy Tran. Mario Acevedo. Old Frank Reyes. We need a bullpen, not a blow pen. What about a blow pop? So we got to keep Garrett Gentry around. I really don't want to sign him to that much money. Old Brian Park. Shortstops. I have had a bitch of a time trying to draft shortstops. I think Jonathan can do a flurry and revive a second career now. I think he already has. I'm pretty sure he already has, based on how he's played for the Rangers. Oh, Mr. Gehringer. Give you some money. Anthony Chow. Again, hopefully these guys take these cheaper deals, given they have interest in them. Domingo, you're pretty bad, but I got to keep you. Richie Molina. Reggie Sabel. And Brett Delviar. And for the pitchers, Marvin Duarte. Fleury won a cup on his second career. Yeah, Jonathan Quick won a cup at Vegas last year. I rest my case, Your Honor. I feel like if we don't have the money for a big-name catcher at third baseman, just get a reliever. All right, so a high-end reliever seems to be the theme, and then whoever else you can get for depth seems to be what I'm picking up from chat here. Let's see, David Valdez. Let's underpay you. Barry Cox, Duncan Delviar, William Koo, Miguel Rodriguez, Enrique Gomez, Cameron Yamaguchi, Krause in New Jersey. Okay, those guys were fillers last year. Cool. So let me see what is out there for yours truly. I wish Caminero was available to me. No crazy big free agents for me this year. Oh boy. Keibert Ruiz, but I do not need a catcher. Andrew Monostalio at third base. I don't necessarily need, but he might be the way to go. It's also relief pitcher. Oh, the mustache on Isaiah Campbell. Tremendous. So we got a reliever and a third baseman as my best options right now. It's not particularly great, but it's what I'm dealing with. Yeah, and then it drops back down like Tristan McKenzie. Okay. Well, Isaiah Campbell, we're going to go for you here. 1 year deal. I'll give you the 2-year deal. Why not? And then have an opt out for myself. Sure, that's the max I can get for you. $6.9 million a year. Very nice. And well, I don't necessarily need another third baseman. It'll improve my depth. I'm going to go for Andrew Monasterio. Rey Mysterio. Booyaka, booyaka. 619. And I will overpay you on this contract. Mono stereo. All right. There we go. Those are my 2 offers this year. So we go back to the chat side of things. When you say you want to go for a big money reliever, do you want to go for, I mean, Jesus Christ, Abner Uribe is a 92 overall and only wants $7 million. Chad, is that your guy? I mean, he's the youngest of the bunch. He's the best of the bunch. Is Abner the guy? Chat says yes. The question is, how long of a deal? How'd he do last season? 47 strikeouts, 19 walks, a 1.46 whip, which isn't amazing. He was pretty bad last year. He was pretty bad last year. The other options, though, would be more short, kind of short-term filler options. Instead of banking on your rebate with those attributes to do better. Hello, Crash Andrews. Is Abner still the guy, chat? It was a shout for Trevor Rogers. He's 34. Vicia's 35. Sandlin's 35. Munoz is 33. Batista's 36. Bednar, 37. And again, you really don't need a starter. But like Chase Dollander's out there. And then some older options too. What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think? Looks like Abner is still the guy. If he was bad, I say no to Uribe. I mean, he was pretty mid last year, but in seasons prior, he was all right. So Yeah. No, it's not, Crashy. No, it's not. Oh, goodness. Never watched a baseball game. Is Ohtani better hitting, pitching, or is he top 5? Probably close to the top 5 at both, if we're being honest. Chat, I need a decision here. This indecision's killing you. And again, you could also go backup second baseman, an improvement at third base, or an improvement at catcher. But if you want to spend the big money on a reliever, Rogers wants $7 million. Vesia wants 10. Munoz wants about 7 as well, a little bit under. Are we going Uribe, or would you like me to check stats for the other players that are there? That's the question. All right, Uribe it is. Check Rogers. Fine. 127 whip, 57 strikeouts, 25 walks. Trevor Rogers was outstanding last year. He was fantastic. For the record, Vesia was also pretty damn good last year. Nick Sandlin, not so much. And Rogers wants 7. Vesia wants 10. Munoz was good, not quite as good as Rogers. Same for Batista and Bednar. I mean, if it's not Uribe, it's Trevor Rogers, who is 3 years older and 4 overall points weaker. We need that decision. Is it Rogers or Abner Uribe? The Uribe. Thank you, Crash, for the love of God. Poll is up. Feel free to vote. Thank you, Crashy. I was actually about to make that myself. And then from there, we'll see how much money is actually available for you guys to improve on one of those positions that we talked about. So we'll see who gets the win here. Fun fact, Isaiah Campbell wasn't actually born in the U.S. I know. I know. He was born in Venezuela. Looks like Uribe is going to get the win here. So chat, you got options. If we were to do your typical option, that is what it would be. A 3+1. You could front load it. You could keep it normal. You could back load it. But $8.8 million a year. I mean, you do have the wiggle room to front load it this year because you're not going to be spending a ton of money on the position player. What are we thinking? Normal 3+1. Any disagreements? A backload 3+1. Normal. Right now, a normal 3+1 is the going opinion. Will it be a backloaded 3+1? Will it be a normal or a backloaded? Looks like it's going to be a normal. Going once. All right, normal's going to win. Abner Uribe, there's the offer. Wait, are we not a contender? Why is that? I don't know, to be honest. You guys should be listed as a contender. So, in terms of the pending offers, it's now up to $17 million. So again, your options are this, chat, for a position player. Get a 1A, 1B catcher to go alongside Tyrone Ray. Get a backup for Gavin Lux at second base. Or get a 1A, 1B third baseman to compete with John Slaughter. What do you think? What position do you want to prioritize? There's going to be arguments for all 3 positions. What do you think? You want to focus on catcher, second base as a backup, or try to find an improvement or a competitor for old John's laughter? One shout out for backup second base. Backup second baseman whose secondary is a third. That is a possibility. Second base, a third, but good slugging. Well, there's Michael Massey. How much is he looking for? $4 million? That's not that bad. Ahmed Rosario, also $4 million. Are there any third basemen that have second as a backup position? Yes. So, again, these top guys are going to be way too expensive. Even Mauricio's too expensive. So you could get a veteran in Ahmed Rosario, who is declining, but does the job. Not amazing at the plate, though. Not dreadful, but not amazing. Massey wasn't too bad. Christian Arroyo. Valdez didn't play. Well, Michael Massey's a decent little shout as a veteran to kind of fill that role. Can't go after Monasterio anyway. Sosa wants 5. Urias wants 10. Triolo wants 7. Hayes wants 7. God, a lot of these guys want to get paid because the market's not that crazy. Kevin Smith. Yon Moncada, but he can't play shortstop. Yu Chang. Be honest, chat, your best bet looks like old Michael Massey here as a backup at second base. Not that bad at the plate, an okay fielder. Let's give the guy a 1-year deal to fill out the team, basically. A nice $6.9 million. And, yeah, $24 million in pending offers. 28.8 in surplus. That should leave enough money to sign all the fillers that you'll need later on. It's close, though, actually. Massey might be too expensive, if we're being honest. What was his initial price? 4.3? Can't get Donovan. He's been sending $7 million on a backup. Well, yeah, that's kind of what it's turning into, is that he's too expensive for you guys. Owen Miller wants $2 million. Rojas out of Arizona. I mean, even Rojas wants $2 million. What does Ketel Marte want? He can't play third, though. He can play shortstop. So many of these guys want money. I guess just because the market's not crazy. Zach McKinstry. Even he wants $3 million. Christ, you know what? Wait it out. That's the best move. Get your reliever, but wait it out from there until spring training is closer. That is easily your best move right now. And Uribe immediately rejected the offer. He went to the Yankees instead. So chat, you still get your 2 spring training signings. You'll get a position player signing as well, but Abner Uribe does not sign. He goes to the Yankees. Oh, you can't go after Rogers. Once you go for one, that's it. Andres Munoz goes to the Dodgers for 3 years. The catcher Sam Basallo on his way to the Cubs. And McAble, 9 years from Pittsburgh. Damn. $26 million a year. Let's just make sure contracts are looking good, and they are. Trevor Rogers, 2 years with St. Louis, $8.7 million a year. Taj Bradley gets $5 million. Guess we could spend on a good second baseman or third baseman. I mean, you could look for the update on Slaughter. You don't need a good second baseman, though. If you're going for a second baseman, you need a backup. Taj Bradley gone. Austin Wells to Atlanta. Felix Bautista to the Rangers. Can Lux play anywhere else? He can, but it doesn't mean that's where the manager will play him. And these second basemen aren't really any better, at least not that much better. You know, if you wanted that improvement at third base, it's like you could pay Jake Berger for the year to compete with Slaughter. Luis Arias is the same way. I mean, you could go for that upgrade at third base with someone like Jake Berger to try and add a little bit more power to the lineup. Especially now that you didn't get the reliever, you have a little bit more money to work with. What are you guys thinking? Can you check catchers? I have multiple times, but yeah. I mean, again, big money catchers that... I mean, Ruiz actually isn't even available to you guys. Soderstrom wants $18 million. You can't afford it. There's Longlier's at 34. He wants like 10, if not more. Tyler Stevenson wants 10. Miguel Amaya wants about 7 to 8 at 33. And then you'd be looking at guys that are minimal upgrades on who you already have there. What do you think, chat? We need decisions. You missed out on a free agent pitcher. If you want to go for a position player, I need decisions to be made here. You're taking way too long. Very indecisive. Although, granted, when you guys are indecisive, that's often when things work out for you. Brett Beatty, Spencer Steer. So wait, going once on Wait. Going twice on Wait. And sold. All right, let's see. Everybody except for David Valdez is signed. That's not a big deal. We march and we move. Although, one thing that we can do from here is update some trade blocks as we do. Update some trade blocks for the old off season. Let's see what we got going on. So for me, Gabe Moreno, Rodriguez.
Here comes a piece of
Hot dogs there. Aiden, 67 months. Good Lord, Aiden, thank you very much for that. Out to Mr. Monasterio as well, who signed with me. Aiden, how the heck are you? Thank you again for the resub. I hope things are going well for you. All right, let's see. I'm not getting rid of Seaver. Sam Valley dropped from an A to a B, unless he was always a B. I could have sworn he was an A, though. Glenn Camp is fine. If I can get rid of him, wouldn't be against it. All right, let's see. Anybody else that I would like to add here? Anybody else? Don't want to get rid of those two. And I'm out of space there. All right, my trade block is ready to go. Let's see what we can do to set up chats here. Obvious is catcher, third base, shortstop. And then that relief pitching option. Long, Duarte, Dell. Keep Tyrone Reyes since he's your best option for now. You have any other obvious additions to the block? These lower level guys who may or may not make it, so you can try to shortcut and get the most out of their value right now. And if the offers aren't good, you don't have to take them. Let's see. Honestly, you could argue trading Rafaela because you have Marcus Weber. Could make that argument. And again, you're trying to win right now, so maybe not. The starters. You definitely don't have as many starters as you once did. There's just a lot of relievers in the mix. So, all right, let's see what happens in terms of the blocks here. If any trade offers come through, while we still await to see what happens. I now have too many players on my 40-man roster after those two signings went through. So Felipe Peralta, you can get out of there. And Ivan Velez, that means I should control your team when we get to the Rule 5, because my team has no space on the 40-man anyway. The Reds have offered me a trade that it's not going to let me see. Okay. I hit yes. White Sox offer you guys a trade. Third baseman Isaac Paredes for center fielder Marcus Weber. Paredes was a killer once upon a time. However, Weber is a very promising center fielder. A very promising center fielder. So, I mean, it would improve things for you guys at third base. But Paredes is also making $11 million this year. That's a lot to give up for 1 year on an expensive deal. And yeah, Chad's going to pass on it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So you guys get an offer from the Blue Jays. Catcher Cal Raleigh. $18 million worth of Cal Raleigh for Marcus Weber. Switch hitting catcher, but he's 35. He's already dipping a little bit and gets paid a hell of a lot of money. That looks like it's going to be a no from Chad as well. Mills, what's going on, man? How are you tonight? Let's see. James Triantos on his way to Detroit for 5 years. So you get a trade offer from the Red Sox. Ryan Jeffers. I mean, if you didn't take the last deal, then you're probably not taking the deal for Ryan Jeffers. At $17 million, 34 years old, and 83. So Chase Dollander gets a 6-year deal from the Yankees. They've been very busy this offseason. Drew Jones, 7-year deal from the Tigers. Elijah Green gets 4 years from Seattle. Shane Langelier is a 1-year deal with the White Sox. Kyle Manzardo, 4 years with the Angels. Dominic Fletcher traded to the Royals for 2 prospects. Keibert Ruiz gets a 3-year deal from Cincy. Matt Manning, a 2-year deal from the Giants. It's my least favorite part of every offseason. It's the draft lottery. If that Colombian pitcher is ever going to appear again, it'll be this year. Otherwise, he's gone forever. Aaron Hernandez. Chad have the 24th odds, so obviously you will have the 24th pick. You don't even have odds. Let's see. I was looking for the nearest sharp object, and I couldn't find anything. If he's in this draft, I'm going to be so mad.